Welcome to Spill the Tea about weddings. Hi, I'm Teresa.
Hi, I'm Sheila. Hi, welcome to Spill the Tea podcast with Teresa and Sheila. I'm Sheila, the owner of Finest Details. I am a wedding planner, a florist, and decor rentals in Goldsboro.
Hi there, I'm Teresa, owner of the English Country Barn, a beautiful wedding venue in Magnolia, North Carolina. Hi Sheila.
Hi.
What you up to?
Well, I'm just ready for some little summer vacations. What about you?
Ready?
Yes. I'm planning it. You get through the little spring and then you're ready for a little summer soiree.
So where are you going?
I haven't decided yet. I've been looking at a couple things. What are you doing this summer? Are you doing anything this summer?
Yes, we are. I've waited 32 years. 32
Okay.
years. And Ian has finally caved in and we are going to darkest Peru.
Oh, wow.
We are going on a cruise up the Amazon.
Well, fantastic.
Fantastic, but I did give him the bad news that he has got to go and get all of his jabs.
I honestly would love like 2 weeks at the beach, just quiet, just 2 weeks of going to the beach
There's no such
and
thing as
swimming
quiet
in the
beach,
ocean.
though, is there? Because I mean, they're so crowded these days.
Yeah,
That it's
well,
not fun.
it depends on where your beach access is. We go to Emerald Isle, a place there, and there is, as long as it's not near July 4th, I love to go to the beach. I love to swim in the ocean, and I love, I just love sitting on the beach and looking out in the water.
Yeah, it's one of Ian's favourite things, actually, is to just look out at the water and enjoy. They have told us that while we're on the Amazon, we can swim. I'm not sure about that.
I would.
What creatures are going to be in that water there, but I'm excited. So.
Well, I don't have a fabulous Peru. I do have a little short, quick cruise in August. Don't worry, brides, I got you covered. It's a little short one, and then I'm saving for another nice one we close 2 weeks for Christmas, so our team can take a break, and I'll be taking a cruise then.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, we close the venue for 1 week a year so that Ian and I can actually take some downtime. We do it in July because obviously it's hotter than Hades here, so we decide that July is a good time. And I've already booked next July's vacation.
Oh, well, actually, I have not booked anything yet for next year.
Well,
I've done 28, but nothing in 27 yet.
Well, 28 I have planned. 27 I said to Ian, by the way, I'm going without you.
He'll go. No,
I'm going. No. I've booked it without him. I'm going riding. I like to ride somewhere around the world every year. So 27, I'm going through the Loire Valley on horseback to all the different castles and chateaus.
Oh, nice.
Fancy, right? So
nice.
I'm doing that. So that's all planned. No horse riding this year though, because I'm going with Ian to Peru.
Well, did I ever tell you my funny horseback trip that we did in Greece? That was adventurous.
You did.
It was a smaller horse than my tall body, and for some reason I kept leaning to one side. And I'm not the horse expert, but I thought it's a little calm, leisure ride. It was quite the adventure. So next time I think I'm like, give me the big horse. I was like leaning over, and then I was trying to up the lean. By the time I got off, I thought, I am worn out.
I think big horses are often better behaved than small horses, actually. Small horses seem to have small man syndrome. So.
Oh, mine was a little feisty. He wanted to slow down, speed up, slow down,
They
speed up.
definitely are the trickier ones. Well, I'm going in 28, I'm going back to Africa, and I'm riding across the Masai Mara. So that will be exciting. I did that a few years ago as my trip of a lifetime, Ian. That's what I told him. It's a trip of a lifetime. I'm going again. But if you don't plan these things with our industry, you don't do anything, because I mean we never get weekends off to go and have a nice long weekend anywhere. So
I've got one thing for 28, nothing done for 27 yet, but it's kind of been a crazy last couple months. So I'm gonna have to get back to work on it.
Yes,
but you know what we're going to talk about today?
Go on, tell me.
I want to talk about Grooms. all the way around, let's talk about grooms, because
Yeah,
we always talk about the
They
bride.
do.
We talk
Yeah,
about everybody
Ian's
else.
always saying to everybody, it's all about the bride. And I think, no, it's not. It's
No.
all about the couple. It's all
No.
about both of them. And I'm seeing a lot more grooms wanting to have an input and doing, I mean, in fact, we've had a few grooms recently who have been the ones that have booked the tour and done the research. And they're so excited if they're the ones that found the venue. It's like brownie points, you know. They always say, I found that venue.
Oh,
It's so sweet.
See, I have them when they come in here. I would say it is at least 50-50, if not higher, that the grooms come in and want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that it's a veto power. They are being supportive. Some of them, when we talk about different choices for colors of the runners, or what style napkin, or what you want it to look like. I love it when the groom gets involved.
I'm sure a lot of them don't really care about what shade pink it is, or any of the small details, but they are part of it and they do want to be supportive. But I'm seeing today's modern man is definitely much more involved in supporting their bride and having an opinion. And I think especially if they're helping to fund it.
Right,
that actually,
which most couples,
yeah,
a lot of couples are
exactly.
co-funding.
Then I think that they have every right to have an opinion. Some of my favourite things that happen on wedding day involve the groom and his gang and the goofiness, and I just love it when they're relaxed and enjoying themselves.
Well, I like when we are in the planning process. One of the things that I like to tell the groom is, I'm like, well, what are you going to wear? And it's always like, oh, I don't know. Should I do a tux? And I make sure to spend time for the groom to know, no, you should stand out too. What do you want to wear? Velvet? Do you want? What do you want? Do you want tails? Like, stand out from your groomsmen. And they're like, well, oh, can I do that? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, you can.
I love it when they look different.
Right.
And we had a groom a few years ago who, I mean, he looked sharp. He was the sharpest looking man I think I've ever seen. And he was a good looking groom as well. And he had a gold jacket on.
Was it velvet?
It wasn't velvet.
I
no.
love the velvet jackets.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely stunning. And he carried it off with a swagger. And I just thought, every bride looks beautiful, don't they? And sometimes I just think, you could have just, not a fan of the grooms.
I don't think I think they think they should just kind of blend in.
Yeah,
and so that's why I always tell them, stand
not a fan
out,
of wearing
be unique.
jeans, not a fan of doing just a shirt and stand out, be different from your groomsmen, look sharp. So,
And I help them with if they need opinions on a color of a tie versus a bow tie, or what color shoes. Like, I really like to see them involved, because I do see them involved in decor. Like, they'll pick out that candlestick, or they'll pick something out. If they're passionate about it, they're going to pick it out.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, if they're passionate about it, let them pick it out.
Right.
They don't have passions about very many things. We had one groom who his only stipulation was prime rib. That was the only thing he wanted.
Food is a very big groom's
Let them have the prime
issue.
rib if that's what's
they want
really
food.
important to them. Let them choose that. So I would say one top tip when they're talking about what they're wearing, if they're having Annie, black tuxedos don't work, because that horse is
horse
white.
hair.
And I can't tell you, this last month we've had so many grooms in black jackets, and I think, oh no, and you want to cuddle Annie because she's shedding. It's springtime, and as much as I groom her and brush her between walking from the stable to the field, she's going to be shedding even more. So I think, I need to take her one of those sticky brushes with me to get all the way out.
Oh.
So not a black tuxedo if you want Annie.
Well, and let's talk about grooms on the wedding day, because you and I both, and this is one of the things that I've talked with George and Teresa a lot, that when it comes to photography and videography, George is one of the first photographers, and this was years ago, this has been his practice for a while, that really focused on grooms photos and grooms activities. And he was the first photographer that I know of that, when the flat lays became so popular, that he was doing the grooms flat lays. And I was like, I love that he spends so much time as well making sure that the men are having that equal shine time.
I love it. I love the golf cart goofing off, the playing football, playing golf, because we just built the putting green for the groomsmen to do.
I like
love
cigar time.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I
but
do.
personal.
I like the whiskey.
Yeah, the
doing
whiskey's
whiskey.
fine. I love the photographs where the groomsmen are all walking in their jeans and their sweats into the dressing room, and then they come out and they do that delay photo. Love it, because I just think we all focus on the bride, and we know that she's going to look gorgeous, but those groomsmen photos, I think they're such fun. Over by the log cabin, the manly photos. I love the ones when they're standing by the fountain and they're looking at their watch, or doing those things. Love the groomsmen flat lays.
Yes, I love that. That's probably one of my favorite things. I was like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And so I think that, and for brides, I understand that a lot of the brides' families are paying for the wedding, but we have to remember there's two people getting married. So as a bride, kind of stop, think, how much have I involved my groom in some of these decisions, and let them share in that, because this is their one and only wedding too, and it's not so much we're telling you to have them pick out your glassware, but let them be a part of it. If they wish to, let them be a part of it. And grooms, if you're watching this, because we hope we have some grooms watching our podcast as well, be a part of it. And when you're doing your photography, sit down with your photographer and let them know what special things you want to do on your day. It doesn't have to be just, put on a jacket. It could be, throwing a football, or it could be any of the things that says you and your groomsmen. Whatever that activity that you guys do hanging out, share that.
Definitely. And I definitely think brides need to take a back seat sometimes and not want it all their way. And I will tell you this from personal experience. So when Ian and I got married all those years ago, he had one request. I wanted a 3-tier wedding cake. Sheila, we had 50 guests. He wanted a 3-tier wedding cake. I'm a baker and I'm practical.
You didn't do your cake though, did you?
I did do my cake.
Oh, you did?
But I didn't do a 3-tier cake because I knew better. Do you know what? That man still would tell you 32 years later that I didn't let him have his 3-tier wedding cake.
Oh.
And it was a beautiful cake, but I said, indeed, we don't need 3 tiers. What are we going to do with all that cake? So we had 2 tiers. One we kept for the top tier for the christening for our first baby. And he's not over it. So brides, if you don't want to hear it 32 years later,
at least let them have one thing.
Let them have one thing.
If he says one thing's important, please incorporate it.
Was the only thing he asked for. Bless him.
And, carve out something special. So there is something that we're doing this weekend, is that after the send-off, the photographer is going to take the couple back to the sweetheart cabin and take private, no mom, no friends, nobody, and take a few private photos of just the 2 of them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and 10, 15 minutes max. Just take a few of them arriving in their space, sitting down, having a beer, pouring a little champagne, and just like, wow, it's our wedding night.
So are you going to tuck something in the fridge for them?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, this video is coming out way after.
Yes, exactly.
But, so some of those moments, and I think it's really nice that if a groom has some really cool ideas that they would like to surprise their bride with, call your planner, call your photographer, and, do something else as a surprise on the wedding day. That's absolutely very warranted, and I think it would be fun.
Yes, I do. So are groom's cakes still a thing on rehearsal day, or have they sort of gone by the by now?
I'm seeing maybe about 30% doing groom's cakes. It's going to be the much larger weddings are doing them on rehearsal, but I'm really have only maybe had 2.
Yeah, when I had the bakery, I only ever made one groom's cake. It was great, but only one.
For a long time there, and I was like, more fun, more creative, the better, because I loved it. But it's really phased out a lot, I think, right now.
So is the
things come and
rehearsal
go.
not so much for the groomsman's family anymore? Is that gone by the by?
Well, I encourage it to be. I have a few little rules about that. I say, number one, the wedding day is about the bride. So if the groom's parents are paying for the rehearsal, then they should definitely have their sunshine. Like, what is his favorite color? Like, I get a lot, peasant feathers, ducks, like sports themed, things that, or hunting or whatever, race cars. I say be fun with it, because you do not want your rehearsal dinner to mimic the wedding day.
Right.
Like, that should be totally separate. And I think that's where the groom's cakes became so popular, is when other people started jumping on this trend of, like, let's make it about the groom. Did I ever tell you about the best fun thing that ever happened at a rehearsal dinner for a groom?
Go on.
Have to share this. So I was sitting down with the couple, and his mom and her mom were here, and I'm like, oh, let's let it be fun. Let it be all about you and the groomsmen. And he was a big hunter. I hope that they are following this podcast, because it is a story I tell so often. And he's a lot more quiet than working with the bride and the mother of the bride. And he's like, well, what would you like to do? We're all big hunters. So I just sketched out, created these big, floral designs for him. The cake was all rustic, and we had the wood slat bottom. And I said, why don't we do a picture of you with your groomsmen, and do one, I'll frame it. We'll put one on every table, and then that will honor your groomsmen. And he was like, oh, well, okay, I could do that. How many do I need? And I said, well, he had 7. I said, let's do about 9. We'll put one up at the bar. He said, okay, I got it. And he said, when do you need it? And I said, the Monday before the rehearsal. So Monday come along, he's like, hey, is there any way I can bring them to you? And I was like, oh, well, me, I'm thinking, oh, I like to pack way ahead. I'm all like, I understand. I'll get them from you at rehearsal. He said, I'll have them in an envelope. And when I got there, the funniest thing in the world happened. So when I was telling him, let your relationship shine, like whatever you two, I'm thinking football. So what I got was the 2 of them on a bike for 2, riding with flowers in the cart. 2 of them sitting out on the side of a roof line on top of a bar holding up beer. He did the funniest, absolute funniest picture of everything. And everybody that came in, I was like, oh, make sure you take a look at the pictures on the table when they were arriving. Everybody was walking around, and they were so funny. It was genius. And it was a full entertainment conversation piece for the whole entire rehearsal dinner.
Nice.
And every single one of them was just hilarious. And we had some at the bar, everywhere. There was a picture of him and the bride at the cake, and it was beautiful and elegant. Everything else was about him and the groomsmen, but it was a duck cake. So I say, have fun, show your personality. Brides get them included, but I love seeing that the groom will shine.
Yeah, we had the most fun rehearsal dinner we had that was for the groom, was a request by him to have a mechanical bull.
Oh my gosh,
so
now that would be fun.
It was hysterical. So everybody was encouraged to have a go on the mechanical bull
Yeah.
that's whizzing around by the bar. So of course they'd been to the bar first, you can imagine. So, but it was a really good fun evening. So, and I think that you can do as much or as little as you want to, can't you? So if you're a quieter groom, you don't have to. If you just want to hang out, have a beer, play a game of golf, then you can do that.
Well,
but if you
sometimes
wanna,
the quieter groom will surprise you.
Yeah, that's true. We've got clay pigeon shooting later on this year for the groom and his gang. They're going to do that in the morning of, while the bride's getting ready. So, and that was a request by the groom. He said, "Can we?" Well, I don't care if you want to.
do what you want.
Exactly, and that'll make fun pictures, and they'll look back on that with fondness, won't they? So, but I think, grooms need to definitely be thinking about what they're wearing and show their personality, don't you think?
I agree 100%. All right, well, thank you so much for watching our podcast today. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe. And we are on Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Thank you.
See you next time.